Hello friends, welcome back to Relief Tutorials. Today we will discuss the last lecture of real number. See which topic and which theorem we are going to learn. See, I have explained you earlier, if I say decimal expansion, then decimal are of two types. You may be knowing that. Terminating decimal means which ends. Terminating decimals, and second one is non-terminating decimal. So terminating decimals means which ends, and non-terminating means which does not ends. Now these non-terminating decimals are further of two types. Recurring, non-terminating, recurring. That is non-terminating, recurring. And this is non-terminating, non-recurring. See, this is the case. Now you know what are rational numbers. The number which can be written in the form P by Q are called rational. And I have discussed which are the decimal form of rational numbers. So all terminating decimal and all non-terminating recurring decimals. These are called rational numbers. And here two non-terminating, non-recurring. These are all irrational numbers. Clear friends? We are familiar with this fact. So all terminating decimal and non-terminating recurring decimals are called rational. Now, rational number means if any number I express here 3 by 5. So mere by observation you can say it is written in the form P by Q, sir. So it is a rational number. But you think in opposite form. If I give you decimal expansion, you know that it is written in the form P by Q, so it is a rational number. Okay, sure. But can you tell me which rational expression has terminating decimal and which rational expression has non-terminating recurring decimals? So just by looking at the P by Q form, you should be able to answer whether it has terminating decimal or it has non-terminating recurring decimal. Okay, so you know this cannot be written in the form P by Q. Why? Because it is a rational number. Fact. What are irrational numbers? Number which cannot be written in the form P by Q. So this will never be written in the form P by Q. Only rational number can be written in the form P by Q. So looking at this rational number in the form P by Q, can you say whether it has terminating or whether it has non-terminating recurring decimal? That tool we are going to discuss today. We have two theorems based on this. Okay. Now at present, at this stage of your knowledge, you are not able to find out, sir, this expression P by Q as terminating or non-terminating, you are not able to answer. But after discussing this theorem, just by looking at the P by Q form, you will be able to answer, okay, this P by Q as terminating or it has non-terminating. Clear? So now we will learn few theorems. See, one theorem we are going to learn. But before that, I have to explain you one thing. See here. Suppose I say this is 0.35. What type of decimal it is? Terminating decimal. So I can write this 0.35, the 35 upon, how many digits are there after decimal? 2 digits. So you will multiply by 100. That is 10 raised to 2. Okay. So this is equals to, I can write 35 upon 10 raised to 2. You know what is 10? See, 10. So 10 I can write 2 into 5. If I say 10 raised to 3, so that is nothing but 2 into 5 raised to 3. 10 is equals to 2 into 5. Power is same. So 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 3. So I can say 10 means 2 into 5. This way, say 10 means 2 into 5 raised to square. So I can write this 35 upon 2 square into 5 square. Okay. Now you know that we can cancel this 5. So what you write, 5 7s are 7, and this 5 1 will be cancelled. So 5 into 2 raised to 2. Same thing if I write one more decimal, 0.405. So I can write here 405 upon 3 decimals. So I can write 10 raised to 3. So this I can write 405 upon 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 3. So I can cancel here. Okay, 5. So 5 how many times here? 5, 81. 5s are here, 1 5 will go. So 2 raised to 3 into 5 square I can say. Similarly, if I say 2.6, come on. So what you will write? 26 upon 10. So this I can write 26 upon 2 into 5. 2 ones are 13s are. So I can write 13 upon 5 raised to 1. Okay. Again, let's see, I will discuss 0.375. So that you can write 375 upon 10 raised to 3. So that is equals to 375 upon 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 3. I can divide with 5 this. Okay. So 375 divided by 5 means how many times it goes? See here. 375 divided by 5 cube means 5 into 5 into 5. 5 ones are 5, how many times there? 7 5s are 35. That's 20, 75. Again this 5 ones are, and you can say 5, how many times it goes in 75? 15 5s are 75. Clear? If you again this 5 ones are, and you will get 3. So what you will get? 3 upon 2 cube. Okay. You look at one pattern here. See. Particularly if you note down the denominator, all these are terminating decimals and we have written its P by Q form. You look at the denominator, it has one pattern. See, in order to convert this decimal, always we write here power of 10, 100, 100 means 10 raised to 2. Here after decimal there are 3 digits, so 1000 means 10 cube. Okay, so you can come to know that here if it has 10, in each and every case here we have 10. So its factor are 2 and 5. So here everywhere if you see here 5 raised to 1. So I can write here into 2 raised to 0. Why? Because 2 raised to 0 is 1. So 5 and 2, 2 and 5, 2 and 5, 2 and 5. Here I can write 5 raised to 0. Why? Because 5 raised to 0 is 1. So it will not change. So if you look at the denominator, here everywhere see you look at the denominator. So denominator is in the form 2 power 5 power. 2 raised to 2, 5 raised to 1. 2 raised to 3, 5 raised to 2. Here 2 raised to 0, 5 raised to 1. 2 raised to 3, 5 raised to 0. So we can say denominator as power 2 raised to m, 5 raised to n. This thing. So I can say all terminating decimal, the P by Q form of all terminating decimal have a pattern that its denominator has prime factorization 2 raised to m, 5 raised to n, where m and n are non-negative integer. They are not negative, they are positive. An integer. Why? Because sometimes power may be 0. So with this we can frame one theorem or not. Clear? Easy theorem we can frame. So have you got, friends? All terminating decimals are this, and their P by Q. So its denominator has some pattern. It has prime factors 2 and 5 only. That is in the form 2 raised to m and 5 raised to n, where m and n both are integer, non-negative integer. So based on this we can frame a theorem. Clear? So what is that theorem? See, we can say that theorem is called theorem 1.5. See, theorem 1.5. What is that theorem? So we can say let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. So all these are rational numbers. See, I told you they are rational number. All these are terminating decimals. Clear or not? All these are terminating decimals, and these are the rational expression P by Q form, and their denominator Q is of the form 2 raised to m and 5 raised to n. So now based on this we will frame a theorem. See what theorem we are able to frame. So we can say that let x be a rational number. Let x be a rational number. So let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Whose decimal expansion terminates. Decimal expansion terminates. Means all terminating decimals. Then x can be expressed, the rational number x. Then x can be expressed. See, very easy if you understood the theory. Then x can be expressed in the form p by q. I have expressed all x decimal in the form p by q, where p and q are co-primes. Where p and q are co-primes. Reduced form. And the prime factorization of denominator q and the prime factorization of denominator. What is denominator? Q. Clear? Is of the form. Which form? 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Have you got it, friends? See, I have explained this very well if you know that. See, look at here. See, this is a rational number. Why? Because it is terminating decimal. So let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. So all these decimal expansion terminates. So x is a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Then x can be expressed in the form p by q. Then x can be expressed in the form p by q, where p and q are co-primes. See, now here you cannot cancel. It is prime number. 7 is prime. Here also prime. Okay, all these are primes. P and q are primes, and the prime factorization of q. This prime factorization of q. See, all these are prime factors. Prime factorization q is in the form 2 raised to m 5 raised to n, where m and n are non-negative integers. Clear or not? This is theorem. Now we will write converse of this theorem. See, theorem 1.6. That is converse of theorem 1.5. What did it say? See now, let x is equals to p by q. Now if I say, see here, if I say, same thing I can take here any one example. See here this, 13 by 5. This is p by q. So I will take, see, one example here, 13 by 5. See here, 13 by 5. Clear? So how can I write 13 by 5 raised to 1? Clear? So I can write this as 13 by 5 raised to 1. So I multiply both with 2 raised to 1 into 2 raised to 1. So I have multiplied numerator and denominator by the same number. So it will get cancelled. So answer will be 13 by 5. No change. Clear? So this I can say 13 into 2, that is 26 upon 5 into 5 raised to 1, 2 raised to 1. So 5 into 10, 10. So that is equals to 2.6. See, we have done here 2.6. So it was 13 upon 5 raised to 1 into 2 raised to 0. So reverse we have done 13 by 5. So what I have written, this is a rational number p by q form. Clear or not? So x is equals to p by q. It is a rational number such that prime factorization of this q is of the form 2 raised to m 5 raised to n, where n and m are non-negative integer. Then this x has a decimal expansion. So just by looking at p by q form, you should be able to answer whether it has a decimal expansion or terminating decimal, or it has non-terminating recurring decimal. So you have to look at the denominator. If denominator is of the form, what is denominator? Here denominator is 5. See, denominator is 5. So that you can explain 2 raised to 0 into 5 raised to 1. So this is of the form what? 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n. So if denominator is of the form 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n, then it has a terminating decimal. That is our theorem. Clear? So I can write, let x is equals to p by q be a rational number. This be a rational number. This is a rational number such that prime factorization of denominator q, prime factorization of q is of the form. It is of the form. Which form? 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then you can say x has terminating decimal. X has terminating decimal. Have you got it, friends? So just by looking at the denominator, I have given you one example just now. If you know that, what example I have taken? See, 13 by 5. So this x is equals to p by q. Just looking at the denominator. If you look at the denominator here, denominator q is 5 raised to 1 into 2 raised to 0. So it is of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m. So it has terminating decimal. Clear or not? Have you got it? So this is our theorem. Now we'll discuss one more theorem. Theorem 1.7. What is that? See, let x is equals to p by q be a rational number. This be a rational number such that prime factorization of q, denominator q, prime factorization of q is not of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then x has non-terminating recurring decimal. See example, if I write 17 upon 30. So that is equals to 17 upon 30. Factors of 30 if you find, 32s are 15, 3s are 5, 5. So 2 into 3 into 5. So if you divide 17 by 30, see, if you divide 17 by 30, you will take point C here. Let 17 divided by 30, you will put point here 0, 170. So it goes 5 times, that is 150. Then comes 20. 20 ones are, 20. Then I will take here, 20. Here it is 30. Here it is 30. So you will not get, no, here 20. I will take 0, sorry. How many times got 6 times? 6 times how much? 180. Again you will get 20. Again 0. So what time? 6 times. Again 180. Again 20. So it will keep on 180. That is clear. 20. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So that is 0.56666. So that is dot. So that is 0.56 bar. See, look here. What type of decimal it is? It is non-terminating recurring decimal. It does not end, but it records. 6 is recurring, repeating. So non-terminating recurring decimal. So if you look at its p by q form, then its denominator is not of the form. See, this denominator is not of the form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m. It has one more factor, that is 3. So here denominator is not of the form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m. So this p by q has non-terminating recur. Have you got it, friends? So just by looking at the denominator, you look at the denominator, find its prime factorization. It is not of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. This is not of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m. So it has not terminating decimal, but it has non-terminating recurring. So just by looking at the p by q form, if denominator q is of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m, it has terminating. If it is not of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, then it has non-terminating recurring decimal. Have you got it, friends? So this is our theorem. Clear? And you know that decimal expansion of irrational number is non-terminating, non-recurring. Clear? We have seen, see here. If decimal is non-terminating, non-recurring, then it is irrational number. If 2 times non, then it is irrational. Clear? So with this we have completed your theorems. Now we will do exercise, textual exercise. See last exercise 1.4. Question number 1 and 2. At a time we will do this, question number 1 and 2. See, read the question. What it says, without actually performing the long division method, state whether the following rational numbers will have a terminating decimal expansion or a non-terminating decimal expansion. Clear? See, first one I will take. Here first one it is given, that is 13 upon 3,125. Now looking at this p by q form, you have to state whether it has a terminating decimal or non-terminating recurring decimal. So for this we have to find denominator. Okay. So here denominator q. So you have to do here 3,125. So with 5, how much? 6 times, 12, 2 times, 25, 625. Again 5. So here 1 times, 2 times, 5 times, 120. Again with 5. So you will get 25. again with 5, you will get 5, again with 5, you will get 1. So I can write this denominator 13 upon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5 raised to 2. That is equals to 13 upon, what you write, 5 raised to 5. 5 raised to 5, I can write here 2 raised to 0 into 5 raised to 5. So I can say here denominator q, denominator q is of the form, which form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m, where n is equals to 0, power of 2 is n, so n is equals to 0 and m is equals to 5. So denominator of this rational expression p by q is of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to n, so therefore it has terminating decimal. I can say according to theorem, it has terminating decimal. You know our theorem, we have discussed the theorem. If you know that 1.5, see what is given, if x is equals to p by q be a rational number such that prime factorization of denominator q is of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers, then x has a terminating decimal. That is theorem 1.6. So I can say it has terminating decimal, theorem 1.6. Clear? Now, if you read second question, you will come to know. See, read second question, what it says. Write down the decimal expansion of those rational number in question 1 above which has terminating decimal expansion. So, if it has terminating decimal, then you have to write this p by q in decimal form. You have to write that in decimal form. See now this 13 upon 3125 is equals to 13 upon what you got, 5 raised to 5. So, that is equals to 13 upon 5 raised to 5. Okay, here we have 5 raised to 5. So I will multiply both. See, 2 raised to 5 into 5 raised to 5. So here also I have to multiply with 2 raised to 5. So what I have done, see here, numerator and denominator both I have multiplied by 2 raised to 5 and 2 raised to 5. So what you will get here, 13 into 2 raised to 5. So 2 raised to 5 means, you know, 2 raised to 5 is 32. So now 13 into 32, 3 to the 6, 26, 3 to the 9, 39. So 6, 9 to 11, 416. So what you will get here, 416 upon 2 raised to 5 into 5 raised to 5. Power are same, 5 and 5. So I can write here it is 10 raised to 5. Okay, have you got it? Power are same, 5, 5. So you can multiply the base. 2 into 5 raised to 5, like this way, see, 2 raised to 5 into 5 raised to 5. So I can write here 2 into 5 raised to 5. Why? Because powers are same. So 2 into 5. 10 raised to 5. So here there are 5 zeros. So this how I can write 0.00416. After decimal there should be 5 digits. Why? Because 10 raised to 5. So this is the decimal form of p by q. See, it is a terminating decimal. Have you got it, friends? What it says, you have to find whether it has terminating or non-terminating decimal, recurring decimal. If it has terminating decimal, then you have to write the decimal form. Clear? Have you got it? This is question number 1. Now question number 2 we will discuss. What is that? 17 upon 8. 17 upon 8. So how will you write this 17 upon 8? So that 17 upon 8, 2 cube. Clear? So I can write this 17 upon 2 cube into 5 raised to 0. 5 raised to 0 is 1. So I can say here denominator q is of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n is equals to 3 and m is equals to 0. Therefore, it has terminating decimal according to theorem. It has terminating decimal, theorem 1.6. Clear, friends? And if it has terminating decimal, you have to find that. So how we can do now? 17 upon 8 is equals to, I can write this way, 17 upon 2 cube. 17 upon 2 cube. So this I can write 17 upon 2 cube into 5 cube into 5. See here you have to create 2 and 5. Here just there was 2 cubes. See here there was 5 square. So we have multiplied 5 raised to 5. So we have multiplied with 2 raised to 5. So power should be same of both 2 and 5. Numerator and denominator. So here we have only 2 cubes. So what is missing? 5 cube. We have to write in the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to n. So 5 cube, 5 cube. This will cancel. So both will be same. So now 17 into 5 cube. So if you multiply this, if you multiply 17 into 5 cube, 17 into 5 cube will multiply, you will get 2125 upon 2 cube into 5 cube, 2 into 5, 10. So that is 10 cube. So now 10 cube means decimal after 3 digit, 1, 2, 3. Here you will get decimal, 2.125. So if you divide 17 upon 8, answer will be 2.125. So if you want to divide, you can divide. You divide 17 upon 8, answer will be 2.125. See here, 17 divided by 8. How many times? 2 times. That is 16. So 1. Now we will put point. Here we will get 0. So how many times? 1 time. That is 8. Again we will get 2. 20. So how times? 2 times. That is 8 to the 16. Now 4. 0. How many times it will go? 5 times. That is 40. So what you got answer? 8 upon 17 upon 8 is 2.125. 17 upon 8. See here. 17 upon 8 is 2.125. I got it. See 2.125 answer. Long division if you do, you will get answer. So without long division, we got the answer. Clear? So this is question number 2. Now question number 3. 513 upon 160. Clear? Sorry. Third is not this. Third is 64 upon 455. So I will write now 64 upon 455 is equals to 64 upon, you will find the factor of 455. So 455. 5, 5, 10, 14. So it will not go with 3. So directly with 5. 5 out of them 9. 9 5 45. 91. Clear? So we got 90. Now 91, 7. 7 1s are 21, 30. So what you got the factor? 5 into 7 into 30. So here denominator q is not of the form. So we can say here denominator q is not of the form. It is not of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m. Where n and m are non-negative integers. Where n and m are non-negative integer. So here denominator is not of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m. It has factors other than 2. Other than this, it has factors 7 and 13. So it is not of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m. So according to theorem 1.7, we can say, okay, hence therefore it has non-terminating recurring decimal. Non-terminating recurring decimal. Non-terminating recurring decimal. So just you look at the denominator, find the factors of denominator. If it is not of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m, so it has non-terminating recurring decimal. We have learned the theorem if you know that. Theorem 1.7. Clear? What is that? See here we have learned if you know that. X is equal to p by q be a rational number such that prime factorization of denominator q is not of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers, then x has non-terminating recurring decimal. This is theorem 1.7. So we can say it is therefore it has non-terminating recurring decimal. Theorem 1.7. We don't want to find its decimal form. Only if it has terminating decimal, then only we have to find. Clear? So now question number 4. Say 15 upon 1600. 15 upon 1600. Question number 4. So how will write this 15 upon 1600? So it goes by 5. So 5 we are writing reduced form 3 upon here 5 how many times it goes? 3 times. 3 to 0 you will get. Now you will write 3 upon 3 to 0. So 3 to 0 if you write 3 to 0. So how many times? 2 times. So you will get 160. Then again 2 times, you will get 80, again 2 times, you will get 40, again 2 times, you will get 20, again 2 times, you will get 10, again 2 times, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So So you got 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 1. So here denominator is of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to n. So it has terminating decimal. So here denominator q is of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, okay, with n power of 2 is 6 and power of 5 is 1. So what has, therefore it has terminating decimal. It has terminating decimal. According to theorem 1.6, it has terminating decimal. Now if it has terminating decimal, you have to find that decimal. Clear? So how you will write 15 upon 1600. So what you will got, that is equals to 3 upon 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 1. So here power of both 2 and 5 should be same. Then only we can write 10. Are you understanding? Here power of 2 is 6, power of 5 is 1. So how many less compared to this? 5. So what you will do? You will multiply this numerator with, so this way, 3 upon 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 1. So you will multiply both with 5 raised to 5 and 5 raised to 5. So a raised to m into a raised to n, a raised to m plus n, you know this theorem, a raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. When base are same and power are different, you will add the power. We have learned in 9th standard. So 5 raised to 1 into 5 raised to 5. So now what you will write? 5 raised to 5 multiply by 3. So 5 raised to 5, 3125. If you multiply by 3, so 3125 into 3 is 9375 upon. Now what you will get? See, 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 6. 2 raised to 6 into 5 raised to 6. So that will be equal to 9375 upon same 10 raised to 6. So 6 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point. So this is the decimal form of rational number 15 upon 1600. Clear? So we have done here 4th. Now we will do 5th. What is 5th? 29 upon 343. So that is equals to 29 upon 343 means 7 cube. So here denominator we can say, here denominator q is not of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integer. When n and m are non-negative integer, so denominator is not of this form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m. It has no factor 2 and 5, it has 7. So we can say, therefore it has non-terminating recurring. It has non-terminating recurring decimal. It has non-terminating recurring decimal according to theorem 1.7. So no need of finding. Okay. Now we'll do 6th one. What is 6? 6th is 23 upon 2 raised to 3 into 5 square. So here directly we can say, see here denominator. So we can say here denominator q is of the form 2 raised to n 5 raised to m, where n is equals to power of 2, that is 3, and m is equals to power of 5, that is 2. So therefore it has terminating decimal. It has terminating decimal. So if it has terminating decimal, you have to find that decimal form. So 23 upon 2 cube into 5 square. So here see power of 2 is 3, bigger. 3 is bigger, that is power of 2. So here also you should get 3, so you have to multiply by 5. So 23 upon 2 raised to 3 into 5 square, multiply by 5 raised to 1 into 5 raised to 1, both numerator and denominator, then only it will be equal. So now 23 into 5, so 230, so we got 115 upon, here you see I can write 2 cube into a raised to m into a raised to n, a raised to m plus 1, so 5 cube. So this will be 115 upon 2 into, see, power are same, 2 raised to 3 into 5 raised to 3. So 2 into 5, 10 raised to 3. So that will be 0.115. So this is decimal form. Have you got it, friends? So it is easy. Now 6th we have done, now we will do 7. See, what is 7? 129 upon 2 raised to 2 into 5 raised to 7 into 7 raised to 5. See, just by looking at the denominator, it is not of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m. It has 7. So here you can say, here denominator q is not of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m. Therefore, it has non-terminating recurring decimal. Non-terminating recurring decimal. Clear? Now we will do 8. 6 upon 15. See here, 6 upon 15. So you can write 6 upon 15. So 3 2s are, 3 5s are. So 2 raised to 5. So 2 raised to 5. So we can write this denominator. This I can write 2 raised to 5. So that is equals 2 upon 2 raised to 0 into 5. So here denominator q is of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n is equals to 0 and m is equals to 1. Therefore, it has terminating decimal. Now, if it has terminating decimal, you have to find the decimal form. So, 6 upon 15 is equals to 2 upon 5. So, 2 divided by 5. So, 4 upon 10. So, 0.4. Clear? 8th one. Now, 9th. 35 upon 50. See, 35 upon 50. So, 35 upon 15 means, see, I can write this 35. You can cancel this, no? Cancel with 5. So, 5 if you cancel, 5 how many times 7s are? 5 you cancel 10s are. So, that is equal to 7 upon 10. Clear? 7 upon 10. So, that is equal to 7 upon 10 means 2 into 5. So, here denominator q is of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n is equals to 1 and m is equals to 1. Therefore, it has terminating decimal. And if it has terminating decimal, you have to find 35 upon 50 is equals to 7 upon 10. So, that is equals to 0.7. Clear? So, now last question 10. 77 upon 210. So, if you are able to divide, you can divide. 7, say I can write 7 11s are and 7 30. So, 11 upon 30. So, that is equals to 11 upon 30. So, you find the factor of 30. So, 2 times. I will get 15. Then 3 times 5. Then 5, 1. So, you will get 2 into 3 into 5. So, here denominator q is not of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integer. Therefore, it has non-terminating recurring decimal. Have you got it, friends? So, with this we have completed your question number 1 and 2. Now we will discuss question number 3. See, read the question. The following real numbers have decimal expansion as given below. The first one. 43.123456789. See, this is the decimal, and what type of decimal it is? You know that it is terminating decimal, so it is a rational number. So, following real number have decimal expansion as given below. In each case, decide whether they are rational or not. If they are rational and of the form p by q, what can you say about the prime factorization of denominator q? So you know it is terminating decimal. It is terminating decimal. So if it is terminating decimal, therefore it is a rational number. It is a rational number. Clear? Terminating decimal. So you know terminating decimal means here decimal end. See, it is not repeated. So terminating decimal. So it is a rational number, and you know that if any rational number x equal to p by q has terminating decimal, then its denominator has prime factorization of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m. Okay. So we can say, so its denominator, its p by q form, or its p by q form. In its p by q form, denominator, prime factorization of denominator q, prime factorization of denominator q, prime factorization of denominator q will be in the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, means it will has only two factors, 2 and 5. So here it is mentioned that if it is a rational number and of the form p by q, what you can say about the prime factor of q? So it's p by q form, then prime factorization of denominator q will be of the form this, means it will have only two factors, two prime factors, that is 2 or 5 or both. It will be in the form of this, where n and m are non-negative integer. You know we have done this, non-negative integer. So if any rational number has terminating decimal, then its p by q form, the denominator q, the prime factors of this denominator q will be of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m. That's all. Nothing. So this is one. Now 2, here it is given. See 0.120, 1200, 12000, then 1240 dot dot dot. What do you say? It is non-terminate, but not recurring. Nothing is repeating. See here, not particular numbers are not repeating. 120, so 12,100, then 12,000, 1,20,000. So it is non-terminating, non-recurring. Therefore, it is irrational number. Therefore, it is irrational number. Clear? Now, third one. 43.123456789 bar. What do you mean by? It is non-terminating, but this digit is repeating. This many digits are repeating. So, we can say it is non-terminating recurring. Non-terminating recurring. So, therefore, it is a rational number. So, if it is rational number and it is non-terminating recurring, then prime factorization of its denominator q will not be of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to m. Means it will have at least one more factor other than q. So, therefore, in its p by q form, the prime factorization of the denominator is not of the form, 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integer. Okay, so its denominator is not of the form 2 raised to n, 5 raised to m, means its denominator has prime factor, it has at least one prime factor. So you can say its denominator, or you can write this also, or its denominator contain at least one prime factor, other than 2 and 5. Means it is non-terminating recurring. Means you know that its denominator will not be of the form 2 raised to n and 5 raised to n. It means its denominator has prime factors, at least one prime factor other than 2 and 5. So its denominator contain at least one prime factor other than 2 and 5. We have done the problem. If you know, see that. See here. See this denominator. 2 and 5 is there, but it has at least one prime factor other than 2 and 5. 2 and 5 are there, but it has at least one factor other than 2 and 5. So it is non-terminating recurring decimal. Have you got it? So I hope you understood these topics, theorems very well. Keep on practicing. I have given you assignment. With this, we have completed our chapter number 1. I hope you have understood this chapter. Please, it is a very typical and crucial chapter. So please go through each and every concept precisely and try to understand it, and you please practice this chapter as much as you can. And if you find any difficulties, please feel free to call me. Thank you very much. We have completed your chapter.